Assume you're Gordon Ramsay and you're running a restaurant. A bad restaurant. A Mexican knockoff restaurant with a Chinese chef. And you come across 5 illegal Mexican immigrants and 5 completely white college students. You can A. Hire the white people and pay them the normal wages, or you could hire the Mexicans and pay them not the normal wage, more like less than the minimum wage. See, you can have a trustworthy staff for a high price, or a cheap staff which isn't the best, and they might run gangs, do drugs, and form a cartel. But hey, nothing in your restaurant. Your restaurant is safe.
Help. And if you kick every Latino out of this country, then who is going to be cleaning your toilet, Donald Trump?
Oh, that's no.
In the sense that
No.
In the longer run, as the population of a country increases due to immigration, so is gonna be the demand for these goods. So is gonna be the demand for manufacturing these goods, and therefore there are gonna be more jobs available than there were before. But what about resources? You might be thinking, if the population of a country is increasing but its resources remain the same, then everyone is gonna get less resources. Now you're not wrong in thinking that. But you are wrong. Now what you are thinking is what the Chinese government also thought. In 1970s, they introduced a rule which was called the one child policy. A great policy. A policy which aimed to strengthen the very core of China and to improve the lives of its citizens, which also caused abortions and infanticides. And there's a literal story where there was a girl child born in the hospital where the young child was forcibly taken from the parents and killed because the parents did not have a permission certificate for that child. Yeah, this is actually a real story that happened in China. So needless to say, they were really trying to implement this one child policy, and guess what? They took the policy back in 2016 after the birth rates and the population plummets. Approximately 30 million girls were killed. But why are birth rates important? A birth rate of 2 is called the replenishment rate. And if the birth rates go below that number, then there are good chances that the population of your country is going to start aging, and that the average age of your country is also going to start increasing. Now, this may not sound like a big deal, but it's a big deal. If there are more old people, they are going to be taking more money from the system in form of healthcare, pensions, and they're going to be a strain on the economy. But if there are no young people to actually provide money and input into the system, then you're gonna have a lack of labor, very expensive healthcare systems, and some countries might even bring up their retirement age. And we already know how people react to that. So what's the solution? Just bring in the labor from outside. All these countries where the immigrants are coming from usually have a birth rate which is higher than 2. Which means when these people come into your country and they stay there, they're also going to increase the average birth rate of that country. Now, all these little problems you had are solved by immigration. But let's forget the good part and the economics for right now and think about the cultural aspects. Everything we discussed till now about birth rate and economics does not matter if the immigrants coming into your country are coming with a religious intent.
We do believe that one day France will be under the Sharia, Britain will be under the Sharia. In fact, the whole world will be under the authority of the Muslims implementing the Islamic law and order.
Not every immigrant is gonna have the same ideology as that. But again, a few bad apples can really ruin the rest. People from other countries coming into mind telling me what to eat, what to wear, and what to speak is a huge issue.
Whitechapel in East London. A hardline vigilante group is trying to impose Sharia law on unsuspecting members of the public.
It's a Muslim area, okay? Alcohol, bad. This is a Muslim area.
It's not just drinkers being targeted.
Yeah, you're gay, mate. Get out of here, mate. Get out of here, you fag.
And women wearing skirts above the knee are also being harassed.
And this is not the first time in history that people coming from other countries are displacing people, killing them and taking over their lands. You can argue that that's what Israelis are doing in Palestine right now. Both Europeans and the Jews basically came into these lands and started taking over them. If these are the issues, then why isn't government simply banning immigration? With the economic benefits that the immigration provides, it's very difficult for governments to simply stop immigration. US is facing issues with its black population, but that's not where the immigrants are coming from. Honestly, the issue of cultural difference is a very hard topic, but to be honest, it's just recession, AI, economy, and thousands of other issues. When the Great Depression came, the Germans started targeting Jews and started blaming them for everything. And later they.
When questioned, most of these men could not remember when they'd last eaten a decent meal. Many had been beaten and tortured so long their minds had failed. Some were too far gone when the Americans took over.
And these Jews were not immigrants, they were people living in that country, and they were just simply targeted when there were bad times. People who are immigrants are paid less, so they turn into a life of crime. Anytime there is an economic unrest, the poor react first. It just happens by the way the system is that immigrants just happen to be poor. Most of the immigrants in America are Asians, and Asians, they are not causing any problems there. Most of the immigrants in Canada are coming from India, and again, there are no religious divides over there. People are living in harmony in these places even with immigration. I am not a huge news channel on YouTube, which means I do not have all the fancy editing techniques and the quality that they can put into their videos. But at the same time, I do not have to choose a side. I do not have any politicians to please or viewership to keep happy. And not any issue is simple, not any issue is black and white. And while presenting this video, this is my end statement. Get the right kind of immigration that wants to work, not refugees who are here to turn your country into their own country. At the same time, be accepting of immigration and think of its benefits. And if that sounds too much for you, then keep your wives happy and pregnant. Or